Good day, Tamers. Join me in the rebuttal of the greatest army in Digimon. Bagheera, no chance. The royal bases. So, we should start it all off somewhere very simple. Put them on over here. Start off your main phase by placing one Digimon card with the royal base traits in your hand, face up as your bottom security card. Add your top security card to hand. So, it doesn't have to be a face down security card, just if you've somehow gone up 5 at that point and you're putting the 6th one in, you can then get back your youngest little terrible royal base card over here. Going to be running 4 of the Kokabatarimons, and this is just while we don't have EX8, as you've probably already seen. The new Tentamon is criminally good. Search top 3, look for an NSP, look for an Insectoid. All of the Digimon are classed as Insectoid traits when they get past level 3. So they're Insectoids, Antibodies, Raw Bases, and Liberators as level 3s, and then they all become Cyborgs after that, but they also become Insects again with a additional rules trait. So for now, Kopatarymon's here, and he just gives you the chance to look top 4, get 1, and then put the rest at the bottom. With the while the Digimon is suspended at all turns, he gets 1000 DP, which isn't anything to scoff at, but searching 3 over 4 and be able to choose 2 things is pretty darn good in my opinion. Fun Beemon from BT18 here now, with a security effect of all turns, all of your Digimon with a royal base trait gets 1000 extra DP, and then on play by placing one Digimon card with a royal base traits in your hand, face up as your bottom security card, add your top security to hand. Very yellow of you, sir, very yellow of you. But nonetheless, still a fairly good card. Fun Beemon from BT19 though is security all turns, all of your Digimon with royal base get another 1000 DP. So if both of these are in there, and these are obviously also multiplicative, you can have some very chunky bees by the time you get around to doing anything. Your turn, this when this Digimon will digivolve into a Digimon card with the royal base traits, reduce the Digimon cost by 1, which is really good, and then pairs well with Winner, as the effect has something very similar as the effects have a very similar effect. Waspon, security, all turns, all of your base Digimon gain 1000 DP. We've heard that one before. And then, none of your opponents' Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon can attack the players, which is a really interesting effect to have. It's just on the field as well. So if you really want to, at the end of your turn, you could literally just chuck this on the field for a cost of 4, pass turn to your opponent and go. Yeah, if you've got 10,000 or more DP, you can swing. If not, don't even think about it. And then inheritance effect, all turns this Digimon gets 1000 DP. Obviously, if you can get this on a body that gives you all turns effects of more DP, and then there's more DP already in security, you can go crazy with this card, to be fair. These are already ex-antibody Digimon, so you could, in theory, run Mr. Cool Boy if you really want to, but we're not going to do that in this one. We're playing 4 of all the good cards, to be fair. Security, Forge Beemon, all of your royal-based Digimon get 1000 DP. We've heard this one before. And then all turns when any of your other Digimon with the royal base trait would leave the battle area by effects by placing this Digimon face up as the bottom distribution card. They don't leave. As the bottom security card. So, essentially, you do have a decoy, and the decoy effect, instead of getting removed from the field itself, it goes to security, and then which then makes your thing even bigger. So, it's not an useful effect. It's quite cool. It's quite interesting. It's also level 4 decoy. Cost 4 to play as well. Pretty good. Digivolves for a cost of 2. All turns this Digimon gets 1000 DP. So it's super simple. And that's kind of how this game wants to go. The first 2 levels, really, because we're not really classed level 2 to level. So the 3s and the 4s are all basically the same thing. And they are all pretty darn useful. Kind of Beemon now here from BT18 is security effect. Opponent's turn, all of your raw base Digimon gain blocker, which isn't nothing. And then on play, when digivolving for each of your face-up security cards, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Now, I am presuming here that this means that for every face-up security card, you have to de-digivolve a different Digimon. You can't just trigger it multiple times the same Digimon. Maybe you can. Maybe it doesn't matter. Both things are the same. I've tried to look at what this deck can actually do in terms of just being interesting. The issue I'm having is, when I looked at it the other day, I couldn't find a single deck profile on this from Japan. So it might be a case of asking a judge for rulings before you play this deck. A lot of people want to play this deck. It's a very fun deck. It's a very just different style of deck that people want to play. And I'm going to join them in that situation. I want to play this. This deck looks really fun. It's really cool. and I can't wait to just give this a try, because it's a different style of security control, while also having more of a aggressive green to black ratio style of deck. Vesper mod now from BT19, which we do know is getting the topper treatment, so it's getting a proper foil and not just a pre-release foiling. Digivolves from Royal Base level 4 for a cost of 3, otherwise it would be a cost of 4. And then on security, opponent's turn, all of your Royal Base traits Digimon gain blocker. This is kind of interesting because obviously this is the aggressive version of the level 5s, while Cannon is meant to be more of the defensive, I feel like. So it'd be quite cool if this had a different effect. Maybe instead of block, you could have maybe raid, or you could have piercing, or a when attacking effect maybe. Just something a little bit different. Block is pretty cool, so that way you've always, if you get level 5 in security, you just have a chance of having blocker on your field, which is just pretty good either way. I'll play with Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with playcost of 2 or less, and then for each of your face-up security cards, add 2 to that effect's playcost. Essentially, if you can get all 5, I don't know if there's a way to, I think there might be a way to actually get 6 or 7 into the security if you're lucky. You know, you are looking at then basically you're just popping level 7s, but this here is really meant to be more a case of, hey, I'm going to try and pop some level 5s on the field, I'm going to pop some level 4s on the field, try and slow my opponent down, and then when they can start fighting back, I'm already a big body that's got blocker and basically impenetrable. Both of the cards have the effect of all turns once per turn. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, trash their top security card, which is just a really good effect. So either or, getting either of the level 5s in the stack is just really good. This would also mean that if you blocked something on your opponent's turn and it died to you and you survived, you'd also be able to pop the card as well. Looking good for Machinimon. Tiger Vesper over here now. We're going to run 2 of these. Now, I was thinking maybe 3 and 4. But I feel like Queen is meant to be your main big baddie boss monster here. But I'm going 2 and 4 for now. Has piercing, has reboot, and on play when Digivolving for each of your face-up security cards, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then none of their Digimon can unsuspend until the end of their turn. Really solid green effect. So I do like this, as it is the aggressive side of the deck. And then all turns will return when other Digimon are deleted in battle. This Digimon may unsuspend. I love the fact that this here has reboot as well, which means that you can swing twice on your turn. It also pairs well with the other level 6, which we'll talk about in a second. The only thing that's missing here really is like a +1 attack, which eventually you might get hold of onto a Beemon of some variety, or maybe an option card that says, hey, what when if this Digimon has piercing, gains security attack +1, whatever. Obviously, because the inherited effect of these Digimon give you, when you destroy another Digimon, pop a security, so technically that is a +1, but I digress. And then we go over to Queen Bee. It says it has Alliance, which means if you turn the other Digimon, so in this case, if you somehow turn Vesper and then you delete something, I'm pretty sure it's just a Digimon is deleted, right? But other Digimon are deleted in battle. This Digimon, yeah. So if you Alliance and you crash it into security and your opponent blocks and they die, Vesper will then unsuspend itself. It's such a good Digimon. And then when attacking once per turn, you may play 1 role-based traded Digimon card from the face-up securities with a playcost of 8, reduced by 8. So essentially you could get back out a Vesper or a Cannon for 3, or you can get out a Vesper for 4. And then the effect of Queen Bee would be that you can Alliance when it gets played, because Alliance timing is the same time as when attacking, I believe. So you can trigger after the when attacking effects, because they trigger at the same time. And then all turns when any of your role-based trait Digimon will leave the battle area other than by battle, you may place those Digimon face-up as your bottom security cards. So yeah, it's a swarm and dump basically. It's a very cool deck. It's a very interesting style. We do need one more fun Bee one, I feel like, and then maybe a different style of level 4 to be more aggressive, because it seems like they are just meant to be more controlling, which is fine. It's nice to have a controlling style green-black deck that can also be a little bit oppressive, which, you know, I want to see more of in the future. But having Alliance spell on this, and then possibly having piercing given to this in some way, can be quite a fun and interesting style of deck. We are going to run 3 Trident arms here. I'm going to say this was basically just like a luxury spot that we didn't really have or a need of anything here. You can fill this whatever you want. These free cards are essentially just like, I chose this because I'm generally enjoying how Trident ARM interacts with your opponent, and then forcing them to swing early is just really painful for a lot of Digimon. You just can't get around it. Going to do 2 of the Horn Erasers, essentially just a ridiculously good card. Very high costing though, you are hoping this gets hit in security before you rip it out of security yourself. And then main, you may place 1 row base treat Digimon card from your trash face up as the bottom security, then complete up to 8 play cost total worth of opponent's Digimon. For each of your face up security, add 2 to the maximum cost you can choose. Again, very similar to how Vesper works, I think it was, where you are just looking at a way to just remove your opponent's stuff off the field, get rid of it. It is very expensive. I'm not going to say it's not, but in most games now, if you are looking at having like a full board, maybe you start your turn at 5. There's nothing you can really do. You do your swings, and then you can put your opponent to 3 with this, while also ruining their day. And that sometimes is how we have to play into this game at the moment. Running 2 of the X-Antibody Protoforms. If you saw the Market Watch the other day, then oh boy, these are expensive. I would recommend picking up at least 2 of these. Hopefully EP7's getting more available now. Maybe we can get hold of these, and then maybe it makes it easier to pick these up and a bit cheaper. But currently, Protoforms are just a shotgun to the kneecap right now, so I apologise that these are expensive. You could run the regular ones and then just Digivolve up when attacking, but I do think that you want to use this one, as I do believe the when attacking effect is to Digivolve into a Digimon on the same level, and unfortunately the X-Antibodies here don't double up, unfortunately, so you can't do like the Forge into a Wasp or a Wasp into a Forge. I do think you have to go 4 to 5 to 5 to 6. Unfortunately, so Protoform does work in this way because security, add this card to your hand, and then main, one of your Digimon without the X-Antibody in its Digivolution cards may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the X-Antibody trait in your hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. If it did, place this card as the top Digivolution card. So yeah, so when you add this card, you essentially just put it in, activate it, Digivolve it for a reduced cost of 1, and then possibly having Winger effect here to reduce it down to 0. The 4s to the 5s is a 3 cost, it becomes a 2 cost, and then even so, going from the 5s to the 6s are also just going to be a 2 cost then. But again, so yeah, it's quite easy to basically get this deck up to Doomsday mode very quickly. We're going to be running 3 of the best cards in the game. For green, you can tell me otherwise, and that is Heaven's Judgment here. We are playing a green deck. There's no reason why you can't be playing Heaven's Judgment. This deck does only run 2 colours, so you are in a situation where you're already ever going to be hitting things like 18k. 18k is something to scoff at. It's pretty darn good. And then security effect, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. And again, if you get this in security and you pull it out of security at any point, this is an amazing card to have in hand at most times. All of your Digimon after level 3, so essentially both your Fun Beamons are 2 colours, Carbateriamon is only 1, but then everything else after that is 2 colours minimum. And let the game run away with itself. It's going to be so good. Just have 18k DP smiting power at all points here. It's a green deck, and we don't need to have Shoto in this deck because you don't really care for having the piercing or the blocker, because you do get access to the blocker already with having one of the level 4s in security. No, sorry, level 5s in security. So we're going to go for 3 at the Mimis. Start of your turn, choose a memory setter, go to 3. The main, if you've got level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you may suspend this tamer to hatch 1 Digi-Egg to an empty space, or move 1 level 3 or higher Digimon out of the breeding area. There is no reason why you don't want to move something out of the breeding area, I'll tell you that now. Mimi makes the game go faster. I do think people have forgotten how good she is, because green has been like a bit of a weird colour for the last, I want to say 6 months to a year. We've not really had any really good pure green decks right now, besides maybe Zephage. And again, Zephage is probably like a tier 2 deck. It's not really like running the meta at all, but it has its places. And then finally, we're going to go for a winner from BT19. As far as I'm aware, we have not heard anything else about Winner getting any more support in BT20, but we haven't heard much about BT20 either way. If we do start seeing him more in Liberators comics, then maybe we'll get some more Digimon cards and or whatever training card from Winner. But start of your turn, if you've got a face-up security, gain a memory, which is super easy in this deck because... Sorry, your main phase, because you can trigger when your main phase effects works, so you can put the Photo Beamon to do the thing, to put the card underneath straight away, and then you can gain the memory. Main, by suspending this tamer, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card. Face-up security, if this effect digivolved, you may place one Digimon card with the real base trait from hand face-up as your button security. It's going to be pretty cool to be able to basically cheat out Digivolutions that you basically put there for yourself, knowing that your opponent can't get to it early enough. And I mean, to be fair, if you get super good and you have like a really weird opening hand and you have to put like a queen or a tiger there, it's not the greatest one to put there first. But if you know that you got a level, you can go up to level 5 quite early, and then you can turn it to go up into the queen or the Vesper, then your opponent's going to have a bad day, especially if you're then able to put in a level 5 underneath it to give it blocker for the turn. And that's it. I'm going to say, probably not the best deck in the game. Interesting concept, definitely. Option cards can definitely use probably some moving around. Trident AR, I just enjoyed Trident AR, I don't think it's the best card, but it's a really cool card. Heaven's Judgment, amazing card, but again, you might just want to run it as free, because it could, for you, it might feel like a brick, but obviously, as long as you've got a green Digimon in play, which is a one Digimon, it's active, and then both of your tamers are both green, which means it's also active even if there's nothing on the field. But, yeah, have a play around with it, see how you feel. I really like this form of deck. I think it's a really cool style of deck as well. It's just some of these cards are going to be a pain in the butt to get looking at you Protoform. But, tamers, peace out and goodbye. Mwah. Catch you guys soon. And we'll be here again next Friday with another deck profile from yours truly, Gear Swiftly.